Have you ever wondered what the payments would be on your new home loan? And the online calculators aren't quite cutting it. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you a mortgage calculator that blows everything else away. And it's literally something I just want to give you for free because I've seen what's online and it's quite frankly just horrible. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Rick Elmendorf. I'm a mortgage loan officer. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and I specialize in VA financing. So on this video, I'm going to be going through the numbers on the mortgage spreadsheet from a VA loan standpoint, but it is good for any loan out there, and it calculates everything perfectly. As we take a look at the spreadsheet, it looks a little bit daunting, but I'm going to take you through kind of a summary of how to look at this. First of all, you're going to have your input tab where you're going to do the input in yellow. Anything in yellow, you're going to change. Everything else, you're not going to basically touch. The purchase worksheet tab, this is also detailed outline of every single cost available. And then you're going to have a loan amortizations tab. I actually love looking into the numbers of the loan amortization because it tells you a real story, especially if you're considering buying or renting, that your payment does actually hit. With a purchase, you're not just paying interest, you're paying principal. And you can see that very clearly on the spreadsheet. In fact, for this particular circumstance, just in the first year, I've paid off over $11,000 in principal of my house, building equity. Let's get back to the input tab here where I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, it's pretty easy. It's like literally step 1 through step 8. So step 1, you're going to enter your home price. I've chosen an $800,000 home price. A lot of times you're going to be looking on Zillow or your favorite search site, and you're just going to say, all right, well, this is kind of where I find, and maybe you find a couple of different properties. So you can change this by simply just updating this price, 825, 775, whatever it may be, and manipulate the numbers. Maybe it's an $800,000. You want to kind of beat them up a little bit, 780, and you can see how it goes. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave 800,000 for our purposes. This is where you choose the loan program, basically whether conventional, USDA, FHA, or VA. Now, again, I've had this priced for VA financing, so you can see that here. Step 3 is to enter your down payment. Now, with a VA loan, it's a little, the spreadsheet does all the work here, but I'm banking on that you have. Part of the deciding factors of a VA loan is having to do with if you've used your VA benefits before or not. So if it is a VA loan, you're going to want to check this section right here under VA loans only and answer these 2 questions. I'm going to go ahead and put these in yellow. I should probably put these in yellow on the regular spreadsheet. But have you had a prior VA loan? I'm saying no. And do you have a disability rating with the VA? No. The other thing is if you currently have a VA loan in use, you can put in your used entitlement calculation, which is found on your certificate of eligibility. This will help calculate your exact maximum VA loan amount. If you're wondering how that is actually calculated, I've done a lot of videos on VA loans, and especially one about how to calculate your maximum VA loan. All right, so here's where I put my down payment. On a VA loan, if you do not have a disability rating, it may behoove you to put more money down. For example, the funding fee, as you're going to see here, is $17,200. This is whether or not you have, if you've never used your VA benefits before, and this is a first time use of your VA benefits, and you're buying an $800,000 loan. I'm just buying an $800,000 home, and I'm just figuring like Northern Virginia area because this is what I've got it calculated based on in Virginia, Northern Virginia. The funding fee is 2.15% of basically your base loan amount. So if you're putting no money down, $800,000, this is your fee to the VA. Now the VA does allow you to finance it. So if you look closely at the loan amount that you're actually getting, it's $817,200. It's interesting, right? So you're putting no money down, you're buying the house for $800,000, but then there's that fee to the VA. Well, the VA allows you to finance it. Now we're going to get into this cash to close number in just a second, but that's how the funding fee works. Now, if you have a disability rating, if I change this to yes, then you'll see that the funding fee goes away. And you can see all of these numbers, how they shake out over here on this spreadsheet, on the purchase worksheet tab. So let me put this back to no, and I'm going to go ahead and change this to a $500,000 house. The second thing you're going to look at is, now I leave this grayed out because a lot of times people don't want to put in the down payment. They just want to say, you know what, I just want to finance $460,000. Well, you can do that and it'll calculate everything exactly correct for you. So I'm just going to put that as 0 for now. It'll calculate based on the down payment. Okay, the rate. This is where it gets cool. Now, the rates I'm showing you are from today. Now, these change all the time, and it is based off of loan amount as well. So these things run really tight. One thing that rate does is that we have no junk fees on our VA loans. But why am I having more than one interest rate? Well, they're listed right here from low to high, 5.375, 5.5, and 5.625, all with corresponding points or credits. Now, you're probably asking yourself, now, Rick, why in the world, if I have a low rate option like 5.375, would I not just take it? Why would I take a higher interest rate? What good is that to me? Well, they all have corresponding points or credits. Let me explain. The lower interest rate has points or closing costs. The lower the rate, the higher the closing cost, but the lower the payment. And then conversely, the higher the interest rate, the lower the points or credits you would receive, but the higher the mortgage payment. Let me show you how this works in a real life scenario. So if I take the 5.375 rate with no money down on a $500,000 house, and I do not have a disability rating, and I've never used my VA loan before, this is what the scenario is going to look like. And I'm also factoring in that I get no seller credits. Now, this is something that I can, in fact, ask for. I can ask for the seller to pay closing costs. In this particular scenario, there are no closing costs paid by the seller. So therefore, even with no money down, and you choose the lower rate, which has some closing costs, you're going to need $15,000 at closing. So let's see how this breaks down. On the purchase cost worksheet, you have a detailed itemization of the costs. They're broken up into loan costs and then certain third-party fees, which cannot shop for. These are kind of lender paid stuff that you just can't shop for. And then there are services you can shop for, which are title fees, things like that. The other costs are taxes and government fees, which are depending upon the state that you're buying in, could be more or less than this. Some states are really cheap, but they get you kind of when you're refinancing. And some states, like Maryland, are very, very high when you buy, but very cheap to refinance. So then you have all your fees here. Prepaids are not closing costs, except the funding fee. Funding fee and any mortgage insurance premiums on FHA loans would be here. But typically when we talk about prepaids and escrows, those are not costs to get a loan. An initial escrow deposit is simply this. You're putting money aside to pay your taxes and insurance. Every time you make a mortgage payment, you're putting money into an escrow account as a part of your payment to go towards paying your taxes and your insurance. So if you add up everything here, you've got your loan costs, you've got your other costs, you've got your total of your other costs, and then they do all these calculations, and this is where you get your total cash needed at closing. But let me go back to the mortgage payment, because this is something that is really important. When you're showing what your projected mortgage payments are, your mortgage payment is split up into typically 4 pieces. You've got your principal and interest. Well, I guess that's technically 2 things, your principal plus interest. And I've broken that down on your loan amortization schedule. So you can see every payment that you make, some goes to your interest and it's front loaded, right? So that goes down. Every time you make a payment, your interest goes down and your principal goes up, but your payment stays the same. That's called amortization. They're amortizing it over a 30-year period. And that's how the math works out. You front load the interest because the bank needs their interest, and you only pay interest on what you owe. So it's not like, oh, the bank just steals money from you up front. No, it's because you did a loan for over $500,000 at this interest rate, and that's the rate. That's the amount of interest that you owe before you've reduced the principal at all with any payments. That's why the interest goes down and the principal goes up, but the payment stays the same. So the math is trying to calculate, hey, if I've got to pay this amount of interest and you're getting a 30-year loan, I need you to tell me how to split up the payments where I get my interest and you also pay down the principal to pay it off. And that's called an amortization schedule. And that's what this is done. So your principal and interest is the first thing. Then you have your mortgage insurance. You don't have mortgage insurance on a VA loan, but you do have it on an FHA loan. You have it on a USDA loan. It's actually called a guarantee fee. And then you have conventional, but that's a kind of that's a special circumstance, and you want to get with me one-on-one to talk about the options there. But the mortgage insurance on a conventional loan is widely varies based on your down payment and your credit score. And the spreadsheet does calculate that. You just have to change it to a conventional loan and then change your down payment. It'll automatically calculate that for you. All right. So back to the payment. The other piece of your mortgage payment is your taxes and insurance. We've already kind of gone over that as to how that is calculated in the full breakdown of the costs and whatnot, and that's part of your escrow. So your $462.50 here estimated is based off of the annual taxes divided by 12 and the annual homeowners insurance divided by 12. So that's what that number represents. Okay. And the last piece of it is going to be a condo or HOA fee. If you're buying a condo, the fee is going to be higher than typically when you buy a single family residence that is in an homeowners association. Homeowners association, if you're looking online, just make sure you factor in what it is per month. And that will be your estimated total mortgage payment. And down here is the breakdown of your cash to close. You've got your loan costs, which is you can go here to see all your loan costs, which is this number, 7731. Then you've got your other settlement charges. Now for a VA loan, it's a little inflated because you have this massive VA funding fee. But let's do something cool here. Let's go ahead and give this person a disability rating. You can kind of see how everything drops. Now notice your cash to close didn't really drop. Why is that? Because you get to finance the funding fee. That's just how it works. Okay, so the other settlement charges are here, which is your taxes, your government fees, your prepaid, setting up your escrow account, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's no down payment. There's no funding for your finance items. There are no lender credits, earnest money deposit. We'll talk about right now. Okay, when you make a contract, your realtor is going to want you to put down at least 1% of the offer amount. So on a $500,000 purchase, you're going to put down at least a $5,000 earnest money deposit. So I'm going to plug it in here anyways. $177 needed at closing. And well, Rick, I still got to put down that $5,000. You actually can get that back at closing. So see how I structured this deal? A $500,000 deal, VA loan, no money down. I got the seller to kick in my closing costs. I put a $5,000 earnest money deposit, but I got most of it back. What if you cannot get the seller to pay your closing costs? What other options do you have? Aha, now we could go back to these rate options. Why, Rick, do you have that higher interest rate that you offered me? Well, this is why. Let's go back and look at it. In step 4, you can take the highest rate. Look what happens. This, instead of having a charge for the rate, it actually has a lender credit to the rate. Look at the difference in the cash needed at closing. You can see for yourself. It's not that big of a difference, but it is a difference. There are actually options where you could get higher rates than 5.625 on a VA. Now, every lender is going to have what we call a rate stack. So you can manipulate this with the interest rate. You can go higher in your rate, knowing that you may be able to refinance down the road, and then you can get that cash to closing down to zero. All right, so that's my mortgage spreadsheet. I'm sure I left some things out, especially if you're looking at other mortgage programs. It does it perfectly. FHA, conventional, USDA, different VA. And when you speak to me or my team, you may want to ask, hey, what other options do I have? And because there's not one size fits all. There's a lot of different options out there. And we may want to look at, a little bit more creative options, especially if you have a home to sell. We're seeing a lot of that right now where people are needing to buy first and then sell, and they still want to use their VA benefits, or maybe they're not a military member or a veteran, and they're conventional and they don't have any cash. It's all sitting in the equity of their house. There are ways to bridge some of the equity in the existing home and put it down on the new house and still qualify. So there's just a lot of ways to skin a cat. But this is my spreadsheet. If you would like the spreadsheet, go ahead and send me an email or just comment spreadsheet, and you'll need to give me your information. So email me at rick@loanwithrick.com, or you can just, again, give me a call and I'll be happy to send this to you after just a few questions. But hopefully this was helpful. I really look forward to serving you. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. This is Rick, and I'll see you on the next one.